After watching this video, you will definitely sound more interesting when you speak English. This means that native English speakers will not only easily understand what you say, but will really be impressed with the way that you say it. And this will boost your confidence when you have English conversations. Hi, I'm Steve. Let's do this. Listen to this everyday English conversation.
Steve, what did you do yesterday?
I woke up at 7 o'clock. After that, I had a shower. After that, I had breakfast. After that, I went shopping. After that, I came home. Now, there's nothing wrong with the grammar in that. And I'm a native English speaker, so there's nothing wrong with the pronunciation. But it just didn't sound right. In fact, it sounded boring. Now listen to this. What did you do yesterday?
Firstly, I woke up at 7 o'clock. Next, I had a shower. After that, I had breakfast. Then I went shopping. And finally, I came home.
I'm sure you heard how that sounds more interesting and how a native English speaker like me would actually say it. What both of these answers have in common is that they're lists of information. And in ordinary conversations, we use these type of lists all the time. It might be a list of things we want to buy from the supermarket. It may be a list of directions. Or as in this case, it might be telling someone what you're going to do or what you've already done. Even when you give someone instructions, that's one of these types of lists of information. So let's go back to those conversations that we heard. The first one was accurate but boring. The second one was accurate but interesting. And the reason was repetition. In the first boring conversation, the phrase after that was used to link all those pieces of information in the list together. But in the second one, a variety of words and phrases were used to avoid that repetition. So remember, in English, repetition is boring. But the problem is, when you're learning a second language, you usually just learn one way of saying something, and then you fall back on that and use it over and over again. And that leads to repetition, and repetition, as we've seen, is boring. So let's learn a better way of joining these pieces of information together when we use one of these lists. To do this, we'll answer this question. How do you change a light bulb? And these are the pieces of information that you need to link together. Get a new light bulb. Turn off the electricity. Take out the old light bulb. Put in the new light bulb. Switch on the electricity. Let's start at the beginning. And at the beginning of every list, you can always use the word firstly. To say this correctly, don't pronounce the R. It's not firstly. Keep your tongue flat and just make the air sound. Firstly. You try. Firstly. Keep that tongue flat. So we'll use that now to start our list. Firstly, get a new light bulb. Now we need some more words or phrases to join the rest of those pieces of information, and we'll start with after that. To say this naturally, change the ER at the end of after to the schwa sound. That's that little sound. So it becomes after. After that. You try. Another way to connect these pieces of information is simply to use the word next. If you have trouble pronouncing the X in English, just think of it as a KS. So it's next. Next. You try. Next. Another word to use is then. And to connect the last piece of information in our list, we're going to use the phrase and finally. To say the and naturally in English, don't pronounce the D, it's silent, and the A at the front becomes the schwa sound, so and is pronounced n. So this phrase is and finally. And finally. You try. Now let's use these links to join the pieces of information in our list and answer this question. How do you change a light bulb? Repeat after me. Firstly, get a new light bulb. After that, turn off the electricity. Next, take out the old light bulb. Then put in the new light bulb. And finally, switch the electricity back on. Remember, start your list with firstly and end it with and finally. But you can use the other joining words in any order you want, as many times as you want. But avoid putting them next to each other. In other words, mix it up. That way you won't ever sound boring. And if you click this link, you'll improve your English skills even more. I'll see you next time.